Good day, everyone, to another play day of Arena. This is the second play day. We're supposed to have two matches today, but unfortunately, the first match was canceled. It was supposed to be between Shockwave Esports and Five Nights, but unfortunately, that didn't happen as Five Nights have dropped from the league, unfortunately. So, we here have Voluptuous versus Exotic Gaming on our second day. The decider is going to be Border. Defense first for Voluptuous and attack on Exotic Game. Let's talk about these map bans as we have a little bit of time waiting for the players to set up their moss and be ready to play. So as on side of Voluptuous, they ban out Consulate, Bank, and Coastline.
Yeah,
Interesting bans from them.
so I I can kind of understand Coastline. Coastline being like a really big map to play on. For some teams, it can be kind of harder to strat because of just how big the map is. There's a lot of area to cover, especially if you're roaming and starting on the defense. There's a lot of area for you to cover, and that's really hard. And even for an attack, it's really hard for you to be able to drone everything that's happening. So I guess I kind of understand that ban onto the bank. Yeah.
The same thing for Bank too. I agree with that too. Bank is the same way. Bank is one of the bigger maps along with Villa. Exotic Game been at Villa well, so a lot of teams, both teams seem not like these maps that take a lot of droning. Because again, droning on Bank is a big thing. If you're playing down, if they're playing downstairs and lockers and security or lockers and CCTV, you have to literally drone the entire first and second floor to find out any roamers on the side of the deep.
Yeah, and I think it's more the same kind of with Border because Border isn't a huge map. Border is more of a smaller map, but there is still a lot for you to drone. There's a lot for you to because there's a lot of angles, there's a lot of little rooms, a lot of cubbies, a lot of little compartments that you have to drone. You have to make sure that you're thorough with everything, or that will come back to haunt you. Now, Border isn't the biggest roaming map. It doesn't have three floors like Bank does, but it still requires a lot of precise droning, and some teams kind of struggle with that. So a lot of teams will just ban Border, and also because Border has more of a linear type of game style. So
And on top of that, they banned Consulate as well. Consulate being one of the older maps too. So Consulate at this point is not really a hard map at this point. A lot of people know how to fight Consulate, but it is a map that does require a bit more strategy to it. I feel like compared to other.
yeah, and I really like the cafe ban. I mean, I have nothing against cafe. I actually like that map a lot. But for a newer team, for not for a newer team, for a newer map, I can see why you would want to ban it. There's not a lot of strategies around it, and so I think it makes a lot of sense to ban cafe in the early stages of it coming out.
Very much so. I've seen most teams seem to ban Cafe these days. They actually don't want to play the new map, unfortunately. I had to cast the Cafe game, unfortunately. But otherwise, they'll ban Clubhouse as well. And Clubhouse, hmm. Let's wait here a second. Looks like teams are trying to figure out their Moss problems because they have some problems with launching Moss. Both teams are literally trying to figure that out. At this point, it looks like, yeah, Clubhouse being expanded though. Clubhouse being a ban that requires a lot of hard bridging compared to like Coastline or other maps, really.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of Clubhouse because I think there's a lot of self interpretation that can go on there. I think a lot of the other maps struggle from the same thing, that it's more of a linear type of gameplay. Like you are forced into, you do this, and then you do that, and then you execute. And I think a lot of I think a lot of maps fall under that category. You just check down a list of things that you need to do. But I feel like Clubhouse is more open. And even though it was banned, I think that it would have been a good place to play because there's a lot of room for interpretation. Like I said, you can play a pulse from under, you can play any C4 from under. You can switch the attack if something goes wrong. Like on Border, you can switch the attack to Office, but that's like a lot of switching. But if you want to switch on Clubhouse, if you want to switch from a CCTV take to a construction take or a workshop take, whatever you call it, if you want to switch to those two takes, that's not really that hard. And I think that's a virtue of Clubhouse, and I think that's something that you'd have to keep in mind if you are banning Clubhouse because I think it's obviously it's defender sided, but I think it's easy to attack when everything goes right, and I think that once you have control over the defenders and you know where everyone is, I think it's easier to attack that way. But Clubhouse is really easy to deny info on the defensive side, which is why one of the reasons why I think it's so defender sided. But
It's interesting to
Yeah.
see, especially with the new operators and now the new combinations people are coming with inside of Pro League 2, inside of competitive play. It's definitely interesting to see what they bring out in strategy wise. So I'm wondering if maybe Border was the pick because the teams have the strategies for this that are different from usual. Because everybody knows the usual strats on Border. You know, if you play upstairs at armory lockers, hold office or try to hold office, try to hold CCTV and break maybe if you'd like to. And it just seems like Border it doesn't change a lot. So maybe that's why teams are more comfortable with it at this point.
Yeah, teams are more comfortable with it, but at the same time, teams that want to kind of shake things up, they kind of don't go with border for that exact same reason because it's kind of the same. It's you do the same thing.
This is the
It's
reason why
it's
Oregon was
more
kicked
typical.
off the map pool too.
Yeah, because you do the same. There's not room for interpretation, and I think if there is another map kicked off, it's probably going to be border. And I love border as a map, but I can understand why you'd want to kick it off because obviously you're forced into this one motion. I mean, you're not forced, but if more than likely, if you want to win, you're forced into this one motion. It'll make you play in this certain way where you clear CCTV or you clear office. You clear CCTV, then you open armory, you clear half wall. Or you clear office, you get into office, you clear radio desk. Like that's just like that's how it goes. And I think that you're right. That's why they put out Oregon. That's why they took it out of the competitive map pool, and I think that that's why Border's going to be next because you come in, you do one thing, you get out, and yeah,
There's a little room of interpretation when it comes to vertical play, at least. But at the same point, it is also noted like you can kind of guess the map bands or the op bands. You can guess how they're gonna play it, even if they use vertical pressure in this map, because it's so used to at this point in Border. Nobody you play ranked, casual, or competitive, the vertical play, the way Border play is pretty obvious. But when it comes to op bans, what do you think they would ban for ops?
um, I don't know these teams specifically, so I wouldn't know what they would struggle against because obviously you want to ban something that cripples your defense, and you want to keep something on that helps your strategy. But I'm not exactly sure. Personally, I'd go for a buck ban. I go for a buck ban every single time I play on border because, like you said, that vertical gameplay can really affect you, especially on any floor. If they're able to take below you, then you can't hold half wall, you can't hold behind the bomb chassis. It's hard to hold small office. Like those key points in holding are just eliminated by Buck. So I would think Buck and probably the Echo, as we see him banned out a lot. Now again, I'm not familiar with these teams. They might bring a heavy IQ, so they might not need to ban the Echo. But the Echo is really strong on border, I think, and I think that an Echo ban would play well into just any team to ban the Echo. But what do you think?
At this point, Buck makes a lot of sense to me. I've seen Buck. I saw ban Buck last time we played. I lost another team play ban Buck out, which was pretty big. But I've also seen teams banning out Thatcher a lot too. We actually saw a Thatcher ban last time. I casted a
Yeah,
last border game. Thatcher ban's been recently very heavy, and it makes it a very defender-sided game, unfortunately, because Thatcher very important to taking a lot of things.
yeah, I agree. And I think that if they ban Thatcher and if they ban Buck, I think
As I
that's
said, I don't
really
want to
gonna.
interrupt you, but we're ready to go on the side of here. There we go. We're jumping in, guys. Voluptuous versus Zada Gaming on border. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, we're starting off
No,
now,
you're
guys.
fine.
We're gonna see what op bands they are, and we'll see if any of these come in. We'll see what the first band is and see if we guess correctly. So first band's gonna come from Voluptuous. They are on defense. They're gonna ban on Capital. Actually, not a bad pick. A very powerful pick right now in the current meta. Right now with his Capital, his asphyxiation bolt and his smoke bolts, he's a very powerful operator, and they're gonna take him off the board. Of course, because Voluptuous doesn't want to deal with getting burned.
And that might also make them. That might makes me excuse me. That makes me think that they want to play behind half wall heavily because banning out the Capiteo makes it a lot easier to play behind half wall.
But unfortunately, they didn't ban a Buck those. They banned Dokubi next on the side of Exotic Gaming. Interesting pick. I usually don't see Dokubi banned like ever.
Yeah, and that is very interesting, but that also kind of signals a very, very heavy roam game. That at least that's what I see. A very very heavy roam game.
It's interesting because you say that, but usually they'd ban out Jackal or Nomad instead. But they're actually ban out Legion as well on the side of the Exotic Gaming for those goo mines.
That might signal a Monty. That could be a very big problem for the defense.
And last was Mirror, of course, because Mirror with her Black Mirrors is considered very strong in the current meta.
Yeah, very very strong.
So first round, we have 6 rounds straight. If you guys don't know how competitive works, there's 6 rounds straight, 2 halves, 6 and 6. Each team will play one side for 6 rounds and then switch after the half to the next one. So we'll have Voluptuous on 6 rounds of defense and Exotic Gaming on 6 rounds of offense. As we start, first defense is going to be Army Lockers and Archives.
Very typical.
Again, yes, very typical. It is the most preferred site on this map and the current lineup. I think it's AC actually. Of course, they're going to bring the Bandit for Harbish now. They're going to bring Ella around here, actually. Ella is an interesting operator, as her gun does have a lot of recoil, so it isn't exactly easy to play, but her Grismut mines will hinder any attackers that walk into the vicinity.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
Yeah, I really like the Valk. I really like that. I think that Valk is very very powerful on border. Obviously, this was the map that she was, originated for, but I feel that she's very strong in her cam placements. If you have a good Valk and she's placing them correctly, it can be very strong.
What's interesting, Maestro and Echo are not banned, but they're not bringing either of them.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, and I think that maybe the offense was kind of suspecting that, like they were expecting like a Maestro, or maybe they were expecting the Echo because they're bringing the IQ, and obviously IQ's useful for anything, but they might have been expecting that, and that might throw them off a little bit.
True. It's interesting. They brought Thatcher and IQ. They have still have the Valkyrie though, so Valkyrie still can be dealt with by the IQ with her electronic scanner, comparatively.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think the Buck is going to go under, or do you think it's going to be the IQ? Because the IQ can do it.
I'm assuming they'd go in pairs, but that's assuming the team's going to play like that. Right now, the IQ is outside of CCTV.
Yeah, so they're probably just gonna go for, like a typical take, like you see almost every time, clear CC, and yeah, that makes sense.
Seems like a simple take, but the Ella's gonna be off point, taking some damage already, and the Jaeger was off point, but he's gonna push back into 90, maybe even watch CC as people push into it. I didn't know I could see that in the spectator view. That was the Lions EE1D going off. If you saw those little noises, there's 1 kill already for Dirty though. Dirty will take out the Ella as Nose goes. Precious, his game Precious. So fantastic start for, well,
I guess
actually,
a trade.
Yeah, technically it was a trade because he disconnected, but
yeah, that's not great, but I guess good job defense.
No, it's a trade in a sense as you lose your Thatcher for the Ella. Okay, that's what someone said. No, here the kill comes out for Vito. Tries to get a kill on the dock though as they open the wall inside of West Balcony. Jones coming out there, coming to try and do a push on this point. Vito takes some heavy damage from the dock though.
I like how they're playing this dock in small office. Usually you'd see a smoke playing that position, but he's playing in the small office. And they're getting kind of aggressive, but
as No Ghost has returned though, Vito get one of his own as he will get a refrag onto Zahan as Zahan killed Dirty. Patriot takes out Sauce though, and it comes to a 2v2. He goes for a plant. Vito's taking a plant right now to access that sandwich window. As reached there goes C4 of Erebus taking out Vito, and there goes the planter. Access is the only one left inside a sandwich. It'll be a 1v1 as Erebus is down. Having downed himself with the C4 question mark?
wow. I think that might have been Access on the
Access will finish him off though with the grenade, and he'll finish the round off and taking a Patriot with a great headshot, and that's the first win for Exotic Gaming.
Very good first round, even though the disconnect happened from those goes. It was a good first round start.
Yeah, they did a pretty similar take. I had someone on sandwich holding the rotation. They went for a planet. It did become pretty close due to the C4 and stopping the planter, but they still did the kills off in the end. So we go to the second round. They're gonna try it again, even though they lost the fight. It was very close though, so it's not a huge problem for them to try it again. They're gonna bring the Mozzie along this time, and they're gonna drop the dock.
Interesting that they're not bringing the smoke.
Attackers need to locate.
They're not gonna bring smoke for any plant now. The only plant they're gonna have are the C4s from both, I'm assuming, Mozzie, the Mute, and the Bandit. But those are gonna be your C4. Those are gonna be your plant nows. Are gonna be the C4 work. Even having the Mozzie with good for information, if he can grab a drone and put it in a good place, he might be able to get a vertical play and kill the planter from below. On the side of the attack on Dotted Gaming, they're gonna bring pretty much the same line. But they're gonna drop the Lion though and bring a Twitch instead. Actually, well, no, not Lion. They're gonna drop both the Lion and the IQ and bring a Twitch and a Jackal.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving.
I do
out to
like
locate a bomb
the
and defuse it.
attacking setup that they are bringing. I think it has a lot of potential. I think that it'll do a lot for the team.
And a first start already for Patriot. We'll get 2 already on a spawn kill, or not really. Yeah, it's looking like a spawn kill onto both the Twitch and the Jackal. Looks like they were off by, I don't know where they were even. Where were they?
I can't say that I know.
I'm looking
Man,
around for them right now, and I don't know where they got killed at. But that was a great first kill for the Jaeger Patriot. That's a great start for the defense.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. Can't imagine how you let that happen. That is incredible. Wow.
At this point, it looks like they're gonna drone around and figure out what to do for the attack, because they're down 2 people. They still have the Thatcher and the Thermite, but they also need the roam clear, as there are also 2 roamers of the Mozzie and the Jaeger still downstairs. Actually, not Mozzie, the Bandit and the Jaeger downstairs.
And I think that was the Ella playing off site too, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
Oh no, she wasn't. Yeah.
There's a kill for the Jaeger though. Jaeger will try to go for a kill. They're trying to go for his 3rd. He'll actually down Axis, but Axis took his headshot. Now there's a downed person on the attack, and Bandit's gonna refrag or finish off Axis. As now there's 2 downstairs. As Mute also dropped down and try and help the Bandit out, but it's not needed. As the last 2 are gonna be off by CCTV and West Balcony.
They're just holding angles, trying to make sure that no one can come into this
A bomb has been
CCTV.
located.
The Thatcher is, and the drone of Thermite will get stopped, and it'll fire back into small office.
This point is looking for something, but Vito ain't gonna get anything, as the defenders are playing smart. They're just waiting for him to push. Pushes in. He's looking to try a half wall where the Mozzie is at. C4 ripped, but not thrown just yet.
We'll see if they're able to pull this back. It's not looking too good for these attackers.
Defenders are playing very smart here. They're waiting for the plan. He jump over half wall, and of course Vito gets the kill in the last through. Lester had the C4 popped out. 1 for Nose Goes as well. Nos Goes is taking the airbus, and now's the Ella.
They could bring
Ella
us back.
takes no damage as Mesa finish off Vito on the floor of Thermite. Takes pistol out. Nos goes pistol. Tries to take out the Ella. He'll take out the Ella. And last will be Zone. He'll be not know where he is, and he wins the fight as Zon does not know where Nos goes is. As he's inside small office finishing off the Ella.
Wow, man, just the Thatcher getting aggressive and just rushing into small office and taking them both out. Wow.
Yes, the Thatcher though getting the pistol kill onto Ella as she was reloading, and then Zon, I can't remember how to pronounce his name. No information. Did not get the call from his teammate, I guess, in time, as he walks into West Balcony and loses the fight, unfortunately. And they'll go another round to Exotic Gaming, as that should have been a win for Voluptuous there. It should have been a win to Voluptuous. Just to
That
throw
definitely
that
should have
away.
been a win.
Yeah, that was a thrown away. As unfortunately as the big thing right there was like the start that was a 4v2 at that pretty much that 1 minute mark, 1 minute 10 minute mark, how you call it, where it was. And big thing was there, the Mozzie had the C4 ripped, ready to go at behind half wall, but his teammate, I guess who was the Valkyrie, who was behind the bomb, was not watching for the thermite to jump over half wall and finish him off. Kind of a misplay right there. Not watching, helping your team. Well, it could be a communication error as they didn't know. He says, hey, I'm not watching that way. I'm waiting for C4. And yeah, that sounds like Discord share. Anyway, it sounds like a miscommunication between the teams as they really didn't know what was going on. The Valkyrie was not watching out for Thermite to brush that fast. And unfortunately, 2 kills for the Thermite right there. And then the Thatcher able to finish off with a pistol somehow, even though the Ella didn't really need to peek. And it looks like they're calling for a rehost. All right.
Hopefully they will listen this time. As last time when I saw you casting, the other team dropped as well.
Oh yeah, that was annoying. That was annoying as all heck. So we're gonna have a rehost, guys. Looks like EXG is calling for a rehost as their person crashed. So we'll be back in a quick second. Alright guys, we are back finally with Voluptuous versus Audi Gaming on the third round. Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's not a.
It was before the
It's not
prep
a.
phase.
Yeah, it's before the and technically by new rules, 45 seconds into the round, as long as no damage has been done.
I'm so confused. It was before it was before.
Yeah, no, that definitely doesn't count as a round win.
I'm gonna be right back. Be right back.
Okay.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Try
bombs.
me out.
What's up, Benny? It's a round loss. Wait, before prep phase? Oh, okay, then cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Then that's good. Okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Alright, I'm back, guys. My apologies. Had to go talk with the league owner real quick about shit,
10 seconds
and
remaining.
people forget things. People forget.
5 seconds left before insertion. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Your ping at? Oh, jumping.
We rehosting again?
Oh my god, this point sounds like it. Oh, wait. His ping was just having a significant. His ping was jumping left and right. We have another rehost. My apologies, guys. What the? And we're back for a third time. I'm your caster, Benny Yao. This is my co-caster. I don't want to say your name even. What's your name?
Barlow.
Barlow. Okay, we'll go with that. Barlow. So we start up again.
Hopefully everything is functional this time.
I hope so. So as we go to our third round in 43 minutes, we go back to Army Lockers and Archives as Exotic Gaming has won 2 rounds on that site, and they'll go to the side of Voluptuous. They're gonna try it a third time.
6 pick to the IQ to clear out all this utility. Not exactly sure because
They had to have an IQ.
Yeah,
They
they
had
should
to stick to that lineup. Wait, what? No,
Yeah.
they had Jack. Yeah, this is the exact lineup they had before. So again, I tell you guys in the chat, if you're listening, if you do a rehost before,
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
so like I was saying before, if you 6 pick, oh I mean, wow, I said 6 pick in the chat, my bad. If you do a rehost during prep phase and no one has taken damage, or like right at the beginning and no one's taken damage at the round is not counting for anybody. Nobody's lost, nobody's won. But the defenders and attackers need to put the same site, the same attack, or same operators for both sides. So again, I had to make sure I took a picture that both sides had the same operators, the same site. There we go. On to our third round.
10 seconds to insertion.
And last round, we'll talk about the round before this, as you might not remember, because it was so long ago, because we had such a long delay. But there was a 4v2. They had West Wall open, and it was looking to be a win for the defense of Voluptuous. But unfortunately, due to some miscommunication, not watching angles, the Thermite was able to push right into West Wall, kill the Mozzie at half wall, and then he went to go fight the Valkyrie, killed the Valkyrie. I think he killed the Valkyrie, didn't he?
Yeah, he killed the Valkyrie and then rushed
the
in
Valkyrie.
and got the Ella in small.
Yeah, so then the Thatcher, the Thermite goes down after fighting the Ella. The Ella finishes him off. The Thatcher then rushes the Ella as the Mute was going for a flank, gets the pistol kill on the Ella, and then the Mute walks through West Army Wall going for that flank, unaware of where the Thatcher was. He gets killed by Thatcher with a pistol, and that was the round win for Exotic Gaming, taking their second win of the round, of the half. So here we have Exotic Gaming going for that east take, going for offices and archives this time rather than going for the West Wall. Let's look on your end.
Been located.
Barlow.
I'm sorry.
I was looking on your end.
It's like not showing anything. It's kind of freezing up a little bit. But no, I fixed it.
Good, okay. Alright, so yeah, it looks like they're trying to go for a archives take this time and go for an archives plant as they're droning out anybody around here. There will be nobody at offices to really deal with them. It'll be just but 1 kill for Sauce though. Sauce will take out zone as Nozgoes gets another, and it's just a frag fest for the side of Exotic Gaming.
Nozgoes will try to go for another frag and miss the shots. Echo will also miss some shots and he'll be pressured out. Be put into a corner. Very bad spot for this Echo. Not sure that he's gonna be able to get out of it, but he peeks as soon as Nozgoes switches his gun. That's very unfortunate.
Yep, Leicester get that kill and Echo, and now it's down to a 3v4. So looking pretty good in Exotic Gaming's favor. They have a minute left to go for his execute.
See what this Echo's able to pull off, and he'll get collapsed upon. Good coordination from Exotic.
Erebus
They'll
gets
watch
one
the
on that
flank and
flank, but he'll finally be
Axis.
refragged by Axis, and now they're going for a plant. Vito taking the plant behind that deployable shield.
Axis will miss some shots under that Frost. Frost will be able to get 1, get 2. She might be able to bring this back single-handedly.
1v1, the post-plant situation. Frost has no HP for this, though.
She's very low, but that gun does do a lot of damage onto that Thermite. That's about 75. If she has proper intel, she might be able to pull this off.
Well, they didn't have much
Doesn't look
intel
like the
ops here
Thermite is
except
a-
for the Yokais of Echo, which I don't know where they're placed at.
Doesn't look like the Thermite is really aware of her positioning. Oh, now he is. Now he's facing towards Fountain. It looks like he's going to close this out.
With a great headshot,
Yeah.
Vito will end the round. On to Mesa of the Frost, and a win. Another win for Exotic Gaming. Third in a row on Armory Archives.
I think that got a little closer than it needed to.
Yes, that was definitely a lot closer for both teams. Definitely just seems like definitely came down to some gunfights that they ended up losing in the Echo. Not moving after being pushed, or after getting the kill on a Thatcher, not trying to rotate out of Archives was a big thing too. He ended up staying in Archives, And they opened up, and where did we go? The good collapse from both teams to finish off Echo, and they got a good kill. There was a good flank from the Alibi, but not enough as they were refragged immediately. And it just seems like, yeah, it just seems like some really good frags from Exotic Gaming to really get them into the motion of getting the plant off.
I think from what we've seen from this match is that it's not so much of strategy that is winning these rounds. It is more of the fragging that is winning these rounds because they get the wall open and they just get the kills.
Yeah, it is
And
unfortunate that the side of the defense on Voluptuous aren't really resorting to any plant denial.
yeah, I think a smoke like they're bringing now could really have helped them out. Smoke, a pulse. I mean, those two things could have really helped out, but they just decided to not go with either of those and play it how they are playing it, and that obviously didn't work. They went up there 3 times and lost it. Now they're at a deficit, and the best they can do, the best they can hope for, is to tie this equally on border, and that's, I mean, that's not horrible, but it isn't, you know, as good as of a position as you want to be in.
If they can take 3 in a row right now, I'd be very surprised. It looks like it's all the momentum's going to Exotic Gaming right now. And yeah, again, if that Echo had survived and they had waited for the plant instead, rather than, again, once the Echo died, it looks like the rest of the team tried to push because they knew the plant was going down. They had to push the attackers at that point, unfortunately.
And the read from Voluptuous just wasn't there to rotate towards the office. There's no defense in office, and once the office started to happen, they had nothing for it. And but that was the last round. So let's get into this round. This Axis will bust right into CCTV, and we'll see what into break room. Excuse me, and we'll see what they're able to put together from the top. As they obviously need to clear the top if they plan on executing. We'll see what they're able to do here.
They're taking the time a little bit as a minute's gone by, and they've gotten some information of who's on, or upstairs at least, but they have not really done anything with it so far. There's the Mozzie coming out, so those Mozzie pests are very much in the way of getting information. First 2 are gonna be inside. There are gonna be 2 upstairs. There'll be the Ella, and it looks like the Smoke as well. And they try to fight out. Smoke's gonna take some damage though, far side, and no, there'll be a Lesu get a kill onto Noskos.
The Ella will so far not be able to make anything work, but the Smoke is putting in work, and the Ella will be taken down. We'll see if the Smoke is able to pull out, if he's able to survive up here.
Nope, Mozzie up there too. Patriot can one on Axis, and still 2v4. It's not looking good for the attackers on game this round, actually, as the roamers upstairs have done all the work in taking out the attackers.
The clear is just not there, and Voluptuous are just holding on, not letting anything go by. As the Smoke is taking some damage, he's getting a little too aggressive. I wouldn't really suggest that, but there's a minute left and 2 people left for the attack. This is, like you said, looking very good for Voluptuous. Hopefully they're able to keep this. Oh, he's right there! He's right there! Oh no! Oh, he couldn't get the frag. That's unfortunate for Voluptuous, but they've done enough at this point. Honestly, if these 2 roamers die, the round's still in their favor.
Patriot, another one onto the third man as he walks in Archives, and Patriot finished off Sauce as well, and that's a win for Voluptuous as Patriot got 3 kills that round.
The attacker's not even being able to clear the room on the top floor.
Now, unfortunately, they were able to get the walls open and get access into Archives and Armory, but yes, they could not contend with the Smoke and the Mozzie. They were able to take at least the L out in a refrag, but not enough.
That room clear was just, like you said, just like not where it needed to be, not proper information given, and that might have been partially due to the Mozzie. Obviously, we don't know, but that might have been partially due to the Mozzie. He has those pests. He cuts off doorways for you to enter in, and that might have been a problem. But I don't necessarily know if I'd agree to go back to Armory, and yet, yes, they want a defense on downstairs, but obviously downstairs is held very different than Armory, and I'm not sure that this was the best call. I can understand where they're coming from because the other 2 sites are more off sites, but honestly, I would try and stick to downstairs as this hasn't worked 3 times in a row, and 4-2 on border isn't really that good, as it does tend to be more defender sided. It's more even than a lot of maps, but it is defender sided just like most maps. So I don't know if this was the best call, but we'll see if they're able to pull anything.
They're gonna change the lap entirely though. They're gonna bring Maestro and the Pulse though for some downstairs, some vertical play. So we'll see how they play it out and how well they do. As they have a lot of C4. They have definitely a lot more plant than out this round around with 3 C4s and Maestro's Evil Eyes to go along with that.
Attackers are moving out to
Yeah, we haven't seen that take place so far, and we'll see when it's how this helps them. As we were talking about earlier, how they didn't have control, they didn't have any plant denial, they had no C4s, no Echo, no Maestro, and to see what they're able to do. Because if Exotic is able to drone this properly, then this Pulse downstairs, any downstairs presence that they have, will not be long for this world, and that will be unfortunate. But it looks like the Mozzie of Patriot will be holding on downstairs on Voluptuous, trying to make sure that this Pulse stays along for as long as possible.
So they're already doing a joint roam, good thing, so that, you know, solo roams aren't really bad, but they will be taken out quickly if a good team is joined together to pinch them out. But it looks like, yeah, Erebus is going to hear someone coming from the Teller's wall, and he's being
doesn't
poked
know
out
that
as a
Jackal
Jackal
here.
runs right into the Jackal, and Sauce will finish him off in a first great kill for Exotic Gaming.
I don't know if they know that the Mozzie's down here though, and if they don't, that could be very bad. But it does look like they know that the Mozzie was playing by vents. Maybe this Mozzie will be able to get a pick.
It looks like they're going to retreat to East Stairs at this point, not even go for the Mozzie, as they're taking out the Pulse already, they're taking out the Cardiac Sensor, and are not really worried about the vertical pressure, though the Mozzie still can create vertical pressure if he has a drone in the right place, though, too, especially that secondary shotgun.
Yeah, and the C4 from below, if they have the right intel on the side of Voluptuous, then that C4 is still useful, but the Jackal is just holding down the flank, or holding down the cross and the flank, and we'll see if he's able to do anything with that.
There we get one onto Lesser. That was your Valkyrie being taken out, though. Looks like that was a cross angle from Archives. And Meso get a refrag, though, onto, or trade onto Nose Ghost, those. And that was your Thatcher. Trades come out. It's still looking to be favoring Exotic Gaming, though.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of intel, and the Jackal will get off the flank, but Patriot cannot hit the shots.
Mesa and
Oh,
Zoma get
and-
one of their own, though, as now it's a 2v3 that Alda going great work in. So was the MP5.
The anchors are just holding on. This Mozzie hasn't been able to accomplish anything, but the
As I
diffuser
say, the
will
plan's
go
going down from Axis, though. It'll be a rush from the zone of the Maestro to stop this plant, but the
And
plant
there's
goes off,
nothing
and
to stop
C4
him.
comes out.
There was nothing to stop that Maestro from rushing up. And the C4
Oh, it didn't
was
matter. The
perfectly
C4 killed him,
placed.
and then he finished off by the Maestro got killed. The Doc finished off the last one, and the C4 was from below.
Bomb diffuser disabled by defenders. Defenders
Now be the round for Voluptuous taking their second win, and then that right there, that was a flurry of last mechanic kills. But you had the Maestro get killed by the Jackal behind the IQ, but then the C4 came out, blew the IQ up as the Doc killed the Jackal in the back.
That was very well coordinated from Voluptuous. I think that's something that we'll need to continue to see if they want to come back and win this, or at least tie this. Because I just if they want to come back to do this, they need to have that coordination, because that C4, that was great. And I think that really comes on the side of Exotic, because they think, okay, we cleared the Pulse, now downstairs isn't a problem. And that's simply not the case. If there's a Nitro
Actually,
downstairs...
well, seriously,
you
I don't know if that was
that.
downstairs or that was just thrown from another angle. That's the thing about it too. I don't know where exactly the C4 came from in that instance. I said downstairs, but it could have been thrown by just anywhere, really, because I don't know where he was at the moment when he got that. But as they
Yeah, that's
won
true.
2 in a row, they're going to their offsite of customs and storage, or customs and supply. There we go.
We'll see if they're able to hold CCTV, as that's a focal point for this defense. And
If
a
they're
lot
able
of
to
teams aren't
ban
able
trick
to...
detention. Detention's maybe a key point if they can ban trick that and hold upstairs. Yes, holding upstairs and detention are probably the 2 very important points here.
Yeah, and a lot of teams can't hold the top floor properly, and you've seen plenty of teams be punished by the top floor just being given up. And it looks like there's only going to be 2 people upstairs. Yeah, the Ella and the Jaeger, maybe the
bomb.
here. It looks like the Mozzie will be up here too. So see if they're able to properly hold this, because this can be a difficulty for some teams, but I don't obviously know. I don't know how Voluptuous plays, but how they play the top floor, but we will see if they're able to pull something out up here, and we'll see how good the clear from Exotic is. Because last time it was kind of lackluster, and that costed them. Potentially that costed them, because we don't know where that C4 came from, but if it came from downstairs, then that definitely cost them.
Either way, at this point, they did think on a lot of gameplay though. Or gunplay. They lost 3 from the 2 anchors of the Dock and the Maestro. That was some pretty good gunplay from the 2 players last round, and unfortunately they lost a lot of attackers because of that. So this time they'll need to be more wary and be able to win those gunfights against them on site, whether it be the utility or Trinity. But Dirty's actually just gonna walk on the site and push for detention so they can get it open. He sees the Bandit, makes a shot, and Dirty will take out Bandit in a quick flare. Click. 1 minute already gone, and the walk is open to attention. And a great start for Exotic Gaming.
I don't understand that. They're just gonna get this plant down behind the Monty.
I say that, but Mesa will get the kill in the Noscos though, and Veda will start the plant though.
This is just very sloppy from Voluptuous, but they're shooting from upstairs. It looks like, not exactly sure, but the Claymore will get Erebus.
Vito's also down 2 in the corner, and again top hold is helping out as they're getting kills from top. They're gonna get another Claymore kill for the side of Exotic Gaming on the Mesa, and now it's down to Monty and the Jackal on the rappel. As there goes the downed player. It's also finish it off though.
Yeah, that was very sloppy from Voluptuous, and they let that Zofia just walk into the site. You shouldn't allow that.
Sloppy, but again, yeah, it just seems like there's a lack of information. That was just one angle that they had no information on, unfortunately. Even though the default camera was still there, nobody's watching the default camera, and they kind of they walked in. There was also no barbed wire too, so nobody heard anything either.
Yeah, that's why I don't have that when I play. I don't have that rotate there, because that can be used by the attack, or that can be used by the defense in a lot of ways. But the ways that it can be used from the attack is a lot stronger, because if like you saw, the Zofia just walked in. She just got a kill. The Monty came in from detention. They got the plant down, and it got a little hairy, towards the middle because of the top floor presence. But at the end of the day, the Jack was able to get those 2 kills upstairs, and that was the end of that round. And
so we start the second half with Exotic Gaming on defense now, and they're going to start in Ventilation Workshop. And again, it seems like, yeah, we'll see how they play compared to Voluptuous.
Exotic not going the default up top floor, deciding to go with the more used secondary site of vents. We'll see how this works out for them, as they look like they're holding upstairs, but will they be able to hold upstairs as good as Voluptuous was? Or, yeah, as good as Voluptuous was, sorry. Will Exotic be able to do that? Because that was a very good hold when they went to vents. I don't know if that was just down to a fluke, but that was a very good hold upstairs, only losing 1 player, and they couldn't even clear the roamers. So we'll see what Voluptuous is able to do. We'll see if Exotic is able to live up to the Voluptuous name.
So yeah, big thing there is last round when Voluptuous won this bomb site, they were able to hold upstairs pretty well. It was either good gunplay or just really good positioning from the defenders of Voluptuous. We'll see this time looks like there's gonna be 1 upstairs be Noscos, and there'll be 2 upstairs be Vito and Dirty. As you're gonna have 1 to be Lissaru. I don't want to say his name exactly. Lissaru, already on AC. They're droning out. They're definitely droning out. And again, I think that Mozzie is definitely a big point why they really held upstairs so well, as they have the information now. They know where the defenders are compared to last time. As Vito will get the first kill though.
They were actually speed on that IQ, not fast enough to catch that Valkyrie maybe on the rotation. I'm not exactly sure, but
the Valkyrie come back of Dirty.
Kill onto Everest. Sophia with the accidental knife, but will still be able to get the frag into the vigils. The 3v3.
Yep, Lester got a kill as well onto the Valkyrie and a refrag, and with those refrags, it's down to a 3v3 with 1:30. So not too fast, but in good enough time to get rid of the roamers. They've now taken upstairs. They don't have a lot of hard breach or soft breach though to open the floor up though.
And I was gonna touch on the pick of the Nomad earlier, saying that was gonna be a very good adaptation, but we weren't able to see much of her as she was killed. But I think that it'll be a very good adaptation, especially for Armory. If they had to attack there, the Nomad will be a very good pick. But obviously we'll have to see him.
Some great Oh, also, Axis not hearing the wall being open is some great information coming from pre-placed Jones as a refrag from Noscos from Customs. Now it's a 2v2.
Just trades galore here, and
Nope, they're gonna finish it off. Noscos gets the one on Lesser of that Thatcher, and then Sauce getting the fast kill onto the zone, just jumping through and trying to go for a plant onto ventilation.
the information not being relayed on the Jaeger in customs for exotic. That's wow.
The smoke
Wow.
being killed was surprised me because I don't know how he didn't hear the Zofia charge go off when she impacted the wall, and he just stood there, even though it was being pinged out by a drone too.
Yeah.
That was interesting. But again, we'll leave that to the fact that the roamers weren't entirely help. Well, the roamers did their job pretty much. They wasted time. They got kills. There was some refacts in the end, but they still pretty much did their job where they wasted time and they were able to get some picks on as well. So good job to the roamers. It wasn't a perfect play compared to when Voluptuous did it, but then the anchors. And then the last roamer of Jaeger, fantastic job to hold the site.
And I think a problem that
Attackers need to locate and
that
defuse
Voluptuous
the
had on that was a problem that they also had on defense, to the fact that they didn't have proper information, because obviously that Jaeger was just free reign in customs. Now I don't know if he rotated in there after the fact that they'd already droned it, but if he was in there the entire time playing in detention or playing by supply, then that is a problem. That Jaeger was just able to go into customs and get those kills, because that round could have been good, but the Thatcher was just picked off, and you can't collapse on the site with one person, and it didn't work, and that was unfortunate for Voluptuous. But they need to have better information. Like I said, we saw that on their defense. Their attack was not their intel on the defense was just not properly collected, and if it was properly collected, then it wasn't executed on properly, and that cost them a lot of rounds, and that's why you're seeing a 2v5 on your screen, or 2-2-5.
Interesting too as well. They could have been throwing that curveball though, because it was the first defense round, so maybe the side of Voluptuous weren't really expecting a downstairs hold with that operator pick they had.
That does make sense, but at the same time, you have to be adaptable. You can't
True.
expect everything to go your way. You have to be adaptable, and if you're not,
That's also one thing that a lot of amateur teams are trying to get. It's just do it. Being adaptable is quite a hard thing to do. So again, we do say this about the team, but again, this is all hindsight. It's hard to do that and that perfect of a team.
Yeah. But just saying, if they want to succeed, obviously you need to be able to adapt to things that you don't expect.
Yeah,
And I understand that's a
unfortunate,
thing
but
for amateur teams to do, but hopefully they can get that. And now we have this round, and Everest is able to get the first fragment to Axis, playing in small office, I believe.
Okay, another one in Nosco as Vito takes out Lesaru on a trade though. So there goes your Bandit and your Maestro. And some great shots. He's looking for the Valkyrie. He'll get the shot onto Valkyrie as well. There goes Dirty
Everest.
Airbus with 3 so far for the round. He's on a roll.
by attackers.
He is not letting the defenders roam, and he's just in the site. The plant will more than likely successfully go down, but no, the Pulse will be able to stop it. Incredible play from Sauce downstairs to be able to stop the plant, but there's still 1 minute and 30 seconds left. I don't know if that will do much, as the Jaeger will fire back. Pulse was trying to retake small office. Flash is coming out, not affecting the Jaeger. Nessa will get the kill on to the Pulse, and the Jaeger will fire back into Patriot and take him out. We'll see if they're able to pull this back. If Vito is able to pull this back, but he has a sliver of HP, and it's very doubtful. It's being pinged and watched from Beepers, and Meso will take him down.
That's unfortunate at that point though, but a great try from the Pulse to try and hinder time, but there's still so much time left as the Airbus on that Jackal just walked in the point with like a minute gone only, so he had a minute to just walk inside and shoot people. So the timing was great on the side of Voluptuous for the round. They were very efficient in getting into sight compared to other rounds, or at least the round before that. There's only been 2 rounds so far.
Yeah. I think that Exotic got a little too aggressive. They were just kind of feeding that Jackal, and you can't really feed him. Clearly, you can't just peek him, because as we just saw, he'll take you out. And
Because in the end, it's like it's a 50-50 game if you're gonna win a fight. And the big thing about this is he has the advantage. He's already looking the way you are. So that's the big thing too in this siege. Is that
Yeah.
he has that advantage of already being looking down sights. He knows where he's looking, and you have to guess where he's looking or where he's at in this and where he is at that point. And 50-50 chance, you're usually gonna lose at that point though. In this kind of fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think that also the peaking thing, like what you said, obviously, you have the 50-50 chance you lose it a lot of the time, but I think also with the disadvantage, they were down a man, and there was still about a minute and 30 seconds left of that, minute 45, around 2 minutes, and if you're at that big of a disadvantage, then I just say don't peek, man. You gotta play it safe. If you're just
at that point, they could have tried a retake strategy instead, seeing as they'd open balcony already, and they finished taking control with the Jackal already past half wall at that point inside of lockers. At that point, it would have been maybe better if the side of Exotic Game had tried to do a retake strategy rather than a stay in sight and try to stay in your ground strategy.
I agree with you to a sense, to a degree, but like if they're rushing, they weren't in necessarily, so I don't think a retake like kind of makes sense. Like over peak, like if they were planting, I could understand getting aggressive. Obviously, you need to stop the plant, but you did have the pulse from under. So if they were to get in and plant, then you have the pulse from under, which he did his job. And I don't agree with the peaks. I can like you said, the retake thing kind of makes sense, but if you have the pulse from under, I just wouldn't peek. But that's
well,
just
it's
me,
just like
of
it has to
course.
be retake because in the end they still had so much time though. Because at that point when Jackal had taken it, there was a minute and a half still in the.
Yeah.
They were gonna get the plant down no matter what at that point. Even after the pulse got the kill, if the other defenders he did kill in that sense, that he hadn't killed them. If they had pulled off point and they had a 3v5, they could have maybe done a retake strategy that might have worked actually after getting that kill with pulse.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
In that sense, it'd be a different story if they'd done that. But again, everyone on site tried to go for a standard ground strategy. A lot of them peaked, and it became a 2v5 rather than be a 4v5 or a 3v5 if they pulled off. But as we go to a second round, or to another defense on here, we're gonna get killed from Dirty already on Erebus downstairs. That Buck being taken out. There goes your soft destruction. But Mesa with a trade onto the dock on site.
Looks like they're gonna be able to get this wall open without much contention from this bandit, but he might be bandit tricking. Can't exactly see it, but yeah, it does look like he's bandit tricking, but he's getting a little aggressive. This might cost him, but no, he'll get the thermite. What an amazing pick. He's not even worried about that door, and Mesa will get the trade, and it's just a bunch of trades here. The bandit with the aggressive play working out, getting the only.
Looks like the Valkyrie went for a flank and was not able to get it though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Looks like the Twitch is going to be pushing in from beepers. This may be problematic, but nose goes will just not allow her to come in.
A great pre-fire with a noise from the barbed wire. Fantastic use right there.
And it looks like they didn't even shoot 90 cam. That might have just been the 90 cam information being relayed. I don't think
Ping comes out onto the Thatcher as Vito tries to go for a flank, but Thatcher knows he's coming. And he'll lose the fight though, as Vito will take up Lesteru as well. And there goes your Thatcher now to a 1v3. But Patriot not going down to the fight.
Sandwich window cutting off those rotations. 20 seconds left, and he'll get peeked by Axis and taken down.
Exotic Game have taken their 6th round, so they have at least take 1 point out of this, if anything. Actually, wait. Oh yeah.
Exotic Gaming have impressed me on their defensive armory. I mean, that was very impressive.
That was a very good revisit of the strategy compared to last round. As last round, they definitely had issues. In this round, definitely worked out a lot better as they had they were able to stop Thermite from opening the wall.
Yeah, and usually I would say that push was kind of overextending, and it was kind of risky. But it was overextending and it was risky, but it worked out. And that's the thing, that sometimes you have to take those chances. In a lot of situations,
it's true too, but again, it was also like the mistake of the person next to Thermite not watching that door when they should have been too for that peak.
That's true, but he did get I think it was more that the person was flanking, because we did see him able to get the kill, and then we saw that the Twitch was able to stop the flank from CC, so he might have been watching the flank from CC, and then the Thermite was just not ready for that aggressive push, and the Thermite was killed. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
just
that's
one of the
also
things that you're trying to get the wall open. Having that wall open is literally one of the more important things for that site take, fortunately.
yeah, and I think that's why a lot of teams tend to bring 2 hard breachers. So if one of your hard breachers die, you still have the opportunity to open up the walls that you need to get opened up.
But unfortunately,
Also
after
for the-
Thermite dies and they have nothing left, it becomes they have to walk through doors. As you saw Mesa walk through metal detector, get blasted out because he's walking the barbed wire. As you saw the Nomad try to walk through sandwich window or propel through it. Didn't really work out much either.
Yeah, once you can't open that wall, you're funneled through entryways, and being funneled just isn't fun, and it doesn't work, as you just saw. So
It becomes
in
a
most
lot of
situations,
disadvantaged gunfights, which is unfortunate for the side of Voluptuous.
yeah, and exotics aggressiveness paying off for them, at least in that round. But we'll see what they're able to pull off in this one, as it's more of a typical hold upstairs, and we'll see if they're able to
Hey,
stick
typical, but it looks like
upstairs.
there's only one person upstairs that'll be dirty on that bandit.
That's
Actually,
very
one
true.
will be joined by Vito actually too. So at least there's 2 upstairs. It'll be, but as I say that, Noskos gets the first kill onto Patriot, and there goes your Ash on East Stairs.
Nitro, a little premature, I think, but the Valk gets a kill into the Sophia, and Noseghost is coming back for this flank.
Zofia got a kill onto the Valkyrie though, so it was a trade. As Noskos is one of my airballs as well.
Amazing coordination. The Echo drone stunning the Jackal as Noseghost peaks.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
But Zon getting one onto Dirty though. I still don't remember how his name, but he'll get a kill onto Dirty on that bandit. Now it's a 3v2. It's looking to be the way of Exotic Gaming, but the health of Noskos is very low, and now be traded on immediately as the manpower is now equated 2v2.
The aggression not paying off in this round, at least so far. Well, it did pay off, as it is now a 2v2, but I feel like Noseghost could have played that a little safer. I know
it equated in the end, if anything, because again you had some people
Yeah.
peeking out and trying to get kills, and it didn't turn out for Dirty. But you had Vito get a kill, at least a trade with the Zofia, but unfortunately Dirty then getting refragged after the wall gets open, or traded after the wall gets open. So it's been equated at least. It's hard to say if that's good or bad.
Yeah, in terms of like, I understand why Noseghost would do that. He obviously has skill to contest that angle. He's an amazing player. He has a skill to contest that angle. But I would just say, just play it safe, man. I mean, you're in the advantage, at least outside of your own health. Just play it safe. But I mean, he was low, so he didn't really.
It's hard to
lose
say. We
much.
can't make the call exactly. He bid for the kill, didn't get it. And so at this point, it's going to become 20 seconds left as they try to go for the plan. At least, if anything, they wasted time. That's the biggest thing for the defenders. But no, there goes a mess of a kill on the Axis, though. And there goes your smoke. And Zon will walk in a point and try to go for a plant, it looks like. As there's still Yokais, though. And 15 seconds to go. He knows where he is. Starts to make shots, but he can't
He's
make his
shooting
shots.
right above his head.
I only can get his head because he's behind the desk.
True.
I think the desk is in the way, and he's not going to be able to get it, looks like. But he has no more to go as the plant looks like it will go off. Thermite will then go lie down on it as he's waiting because he knows the Mesa upstairs has the angle.
I think the biggest problem is going to be these holes from above.
Yep, exactly. Mesa has the angles from above, and he's going to finish him. He's going to do some heavy damage.
The
Mesa.
pre-fire onto Thermite.
Yep, he's great damage onto the Thermite, and Messa's still the last one alive. He tries to go for the defuse. And Mesa will have the angle, though, and be able to take him out as another win for Voluptuous.
And Mesa with the 15 kills just going off in this game, trying to keep everything together. 15-4. Amazing for Mesa.
As we go to round 11, Voluptuous come back, actually. They're 2 rounds away from tying this up.
That would be incredible from them, as we've seen them as the inherent disadvantage this entire game. That could be a very good and well received comeback. And Mesa going on the Ash, I assume with the R4C he's probably going to be getting a lot more aggressive, but obviously I'm not sure what he has yet. But if he has the R4C, I can only imagine that he's going to slap a hollow on that bad boy and get as many kills as he can. As
Yeah, at this point, it looks like they're going to go back to Ventilation Work to try for again and see if they can maybe make that upstairs hold a bit better. Because, yeah, again, last time, at least they equated it. They did waste some time, but in the end, they still had enough manpower to finish off the anchors, unfortunately. And on the defenders, on the attacker side though, they're gonna bring Ying this time actually.
That could really help with the room clear so they don't lose so many bombs on the top floor.
Very much so. They're bringing the sledge too, so they can have the sledge hopefully survive the rest of the round and open up the floor as much as possible, at least in a perfect world.
Because we haven't seen a lot of soft destruction outside of those breaches last round. Once they take control of the top floor, it's kind of just, okay, we have this now. We can't really do anything with it. We don't have that.
Well, Mesa was able to at least open up the correct positions for the recharges, though. They were able to open up a lot of floor, but they had the positions for the rotate and for covering the planter, which is very important there, at least. In a 2v2 situation, that probably was the best that they could do, and most what they really want to do at that point, too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously he got those angles last round, but I mean, like, in general, in any team in this match, when they would take control of the top floor, they wouldn't really be able to do that much. And, yeah. Just like in general, they wouldn't be able to do that much with floor control, and kind of an aggressive peek on the sandwich window. It looks like Everest is aware of this peek from Dirty. Dirty's getting a little aggressive here.
He's looking for someone to walk up the ladder, and he's going to fall for it. It'll be Sledge. And no, Lesteru with that Sledge will not be able to open the floor in Armory as he falls for it. Mesa will be containing a fighting out with somebody on East Stairs. It looks like it is the Jaeger of Noskos. Oh no, it'll be Vito actually on that vigil.
Voluptuous are able to bring this back, but it's going to be absolutely amazing for them. As Mesa's been going off, and he's taking some damage already, like you said, with that engagement on the vigil. He's going to be opening up into 90 on the 90. On the 90 wall, looking into beepers, trying to cut off rotation.
Starting to stall out a little bit here on the side of Voluptuous. A minute and a half gone by, and no kills and no real territory taken. They have taken break room and security, but that's really about it.
And again, you can't really do much with that. You can't go for a site execute with CCTV control because, you know, the floors from above. If you get marked, you're shot through the floor. That's just how it is. And with a minute and 15 seconds left, I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to do here. Just stalling out.
Erebus getting a fantastic kill on a Dirty. But one more. Nope, but Vito will take one to Patriot, and Nosko's getting a kill on the Erebus as he walks into Armory. And it's starting to not look good for Voluptuous.
Mesa could bring this back like we've seen him do this entire match. He'll run into offices and looking towards Fountain. And he'll go for a flick through the wall.
But Noskos will see that pre-fire and just finish him off with a double kill for the round as he tries to go for a third and a thermite. The last person alive of I still don't know how to pronounce his name. Zone? Dahan?
Dahan? You want to call him Z?
But well, Noskos will finish him off though as Z dies.
Yeah.
And that'll be a win for Exotic Gaming. Great round, great round from both games, or both teams. As both teams are just great gunplay, but in the end, Exotic Game won it out.
Voluptuous tried to bring it back, but they could not.
Yeah, as we talk about the game a little bit, we'll see that this gaming really came down to some good gunplay. Both teams had some fantastic gunplay, but it seems as though one team had the better strategy rather than the other. Fortunately.
Yeah, a lot of gunplay fights. I don't think there was a lot of strategy in this match. I think it was more gun skill. So
yeah, a lot of those rounds just come down to gunplay, and it came down to just like the angles being opened up for the attackers, and both teams seem very aggressive to go for peaks.
That's true, and especially Mesa on the defense. I saw him get super aggressive, and I think he was more successful in the attack than he was on the defense. But on either side, I think it was more passive on the attack and only getting aggressive when he needed to. But on the defense, he was very aggressive, and it wasn't really working out for him. And it worked out on the attack, like I said. But yeah, I wouldn't, you know, I would play more passively on defense. Obviously, you have the time in your favor, but that's just me. So
yeah, again, so it was a really good match from both teams. As you see, it seems like just though Exotic Gaming had the better strategies and the better turnout, whether it be due to their strategies or just maybe a better turnout when it comes to opening what angles and getting those gunfights in. But as you see, both teams had a great time. Now, this is the first season of La Arena. I don't know how to say that name. I might be saying it wrong. But if you guys want to join up, anybody in the chat who's watching right now, hit that info box below. We'll be a Discord link or something like that, and we can get you guys in for maybe the second season. The second season will have a prize pool, I think. On that correctly. But either way, we'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic night. I'm your caster, Benny Al, and my co-caster.
Barlow.
Exactly. We'll see you next time.